One stormy night, the sea becomes violent and dangerous. Thomas Curry, a lighthouse keeper, discovers an injured woman lying on the shore. Her name is Atlanta, a mysterious woman connected to the ocean. Thomas takes her into his home to help her recover. But strange things begin happening the moment she enters the house. The electricity suddenly shuts off on its own. Moments later, the woman wakes up and effortlessly lifts Thomas into the air. Fear and confusion are clearly visible on her face. Then, without warning, the television turns on by itself. Panicking, she pulls out her trident and destroys the TV with a single strike. However, she appears weak and exhausted. Seconds later, she collapses unconscious once again. The next morning, she wakes up and tries to understand this unfamiliar world, but when she notices a fish tank inside the house, her face instantly lights up with excitement. A moment later, she casually catches and eats the fish as if it were completely normal. Thomas is left shocked by her strange behavior. Even so, he decides to help her. Over time, he learns that she is not an ordinary woman, but the princess of Atlantis who escaped an unwanted marriage. Despite belonging to two completely different worlds, the two slowly grow close to each other. Eventually, they have a son named Arthur. Arthur is born as a child of both worlds, half human and half Atlantean. For a while, their family lives peacefully together. But that peace does not last forever. One day, Atlantean soldiers suddenly attack their home to bring the princess back. Forced to fight, Atlanta defeats the soldiers using her incredible strength and combat skills. Still, she realizes the danger will never truly end. To protect her son from future threats, she makes the painful decision to return to the ocean. She leaves Thomas and Arthur behind. Years pass, and Arthur grows older. As he matures, he begins discovering extraordinary abilities. He can communicate with sea creatures and even control them. Arthur begins training to understand his true purpose. A loyal mentor teaches him how to fight, use a trident, and control his incredible powers. However, Arthur is still not fully prepared because his human emotions remain strong inside him. With time and training, he slowly becomes stronger. His mentor also teaches him about the history, traditions, and culture of Atlantis. Arthur eventually gains the ability to breathe underwater with ease. He can see clearly across great distances beneath the sea, and the immense pressure of the deep ocean no longer affects him. His swimming speed becomes incredibly fast, moving through the water like a missile. During this time, Arthur learns the painful truth about his family. After returning to Atlantis, his mother gives birth to another son. But when the king discovers that she once loved a human, he becomes furious and punishes her. Hearing this fills Arthur with both anger and sadness. At the same time, another dangerous situation unfolds elsewhere. A group of ruthless pirates hijacks a nuclear submarine. They loot the submarine and mercilessly kill innocent people. Among them is a young man working alongside his father for the first time. Eager to prove himself, he tries to show his worth during the mission. His father proudly gives him a special dagger, a symbol passed down through their family. But everything suddenly changes. Without warning, Arthur arrives at the submarine. He quickly takes control of the situation on his own. Bullets have little effect on him, and he uses heavy metal doors as shields while moving forward. As the enemies attack, Arthur defeats them one after another with ease. Some fire weapons, while others try to fight him directly, but none of them can stop him. Everyone becomes terrified by his overwhelming strength and incredible speed. Within minutes, Arthur successfully rescues all the hostages. But then the young pirate confronts him, determined to prove himself by defeating Arthur. He attacks with everything he has, but Arthur easily overpowers him. His weapons are useless against Arthur's strength. In just moments, the fight is over. The battle clearly reveals the massive difference between ordinary humans and Atlanteans. Then the pirate leader, the young man's father, steps forward with a new plan. He throws a grenade in an attempt to stop Arthur. A massive explosion fills the submarine with smoke and fire. But Arthur survives without serious injury. Before the pirate can escape, Arthur reacts instantly. He throws a metal rod with incredible force, pinning the pirate against the wall. Arthur does not want to kill him and decides to leave instead. However, blinded by greed and anger, the pirate launches another attack. This time, the situation turns disastrous. A powerful explosion damages part of the submarine, causing a massive torpedo to fall onto the pirate's leg. He becomes trapped and unable to move. Terrified, his son begs Arthur to save his father, but the pirate realizes there is no way out for him anymore. He tells his son to escape before it is too late. The young man refuses to leave him behind. Still, he is eventually forced to run for his own survival. Filled with pain, anger, and tears, he leaves his father behind and escapes. After these events, news of Arthur's bravery spreads around the world. People begin seeing him as a hero. One day, a group of strangers approaches him. At first, Arthur believes they might be dangerous, but in reality, they only want to take a photo with him. For the first time, Arthur realizes that he is no longer an ordinary man. People now see him as a hero, but he still has no idea that even greater challenges are waiting for him ahead. One night, Arthur is driving his father home when something strange suddenly happens in the ocean. A gigantic wave rises from the sea, and a massive warship crashes onto the shore. Before Arthur can understand what is happening, an enormous tsunami strikes the entire area. Arthur somehow survives the chaos, but his father becomes trapped inside the car. Surrounded by dirty water, debris, and darkness, Arthur struggles to save him. Then, out of nowhere, a mysterious young woman appears. Using incredible power, she pushes back the rushing water and rescues Arthur's father. Although his father is unconscious, the girl uses her abilities to remove the water from his lungs and bring him back to life. To Arthur, it feels like a miracle. But when he looks around, he sees complete destruction everywhere. The entire village has been devastated.
अंधेरी दीवारों में खुद को ढूंढता हूँ मैं, गए जो दिन सहाने थे सोचता हूँ मैं, तुम्हारे बिन ये मौसम भी बड़ा बेसर्द लगता है। दिल का हर एक कोना अब बहुत ही दूर बढ़ता है। अंधेरी दीवारों में खुद को ढूंढता हूँ मैं, ये जो दिन सुहाने थे उन्हीं को सोचता हूँ मैं। तुम्हारे बिन ये मौसम भी बड़ा सर्द लगता है। दिल का हर एक कोना अब बहुत ही दर्द भरता है। मेरे साए भी मुझसे अब जुदा होने को कहते हैं। तुझे खोने की राहों में ये आंसू बहने लगते हैं। कहाँ जाऊं कहाँ ढूंढूं मेरा वो साजो सामा, तो मेरी हर एक तमन्ना तू, मेरी रूह का मकां तू। लकीरों में नहीं लिखा जो तुमने ख्वाब देखा था। वफा की इस कहानी में फकत एक गम ही लिखा था। सितारों से भी पूछता है पता तेरा कहाँ होगा, मगर खामोश है दुनिया, कहाँ मेरा जहाँ होगा। बस एक बार मुड़ के देख ले मेरी बेबसी की सूरत। मुझे है आज भी तेरी वफा की सख्त जरूरत। साए मेरे तन्हा सफर बस रह गया दर्द का असर। साए मेरे तन्हा सफर बस रह गया दर्द का असर, दर्द का असर।